In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a slideshow of your images in Lightroom. Let me first begin by pointing out that I have three folders in here. One of them are my original images. Second here are the name tags of the individual photographers. These slides were actually created outside of Lightroom. In my case, I created on using PowerPoint or Keynote. You can use that if you're on a Mac or any other text editor that you're comfortable with. And then the selfies are the individual profile pictures of the photographers themselves. So the first thing I do before I create a slideshow is actually to create a catalog, or a collection rather, where I'm going to put all the images and the slides together. In this case, I've already pre-populated them. There are already 34 slides in there, but we need a few more. So, and this is how I would do it. For example, I would add these two, for instance, and just drag them over to the collection. I go back to my name tag, and I believe we need a name tag from Paul, so I would drag that over as well. And then for our images, we need this image as well as that image. Oops, that image and this image is still yet to be added, so I again drag that over. Okay, so now I go to that collection. Now it's time. Now that I think we have all our images and name tags in place, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange them into the sequence that I want. So in this case, it's actually the name tag plus the selfie portrait and the image. Name tag, selfie, images. So that's the pattern that I've decided to use. So this image here actually belongs to Kathy, so I'm just going to drag this right over here, which is right after Kathy's picture. This name tag should be positioned over here right before this image, and so there's Paul's name tag and Paul's image. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a selfie portrait, so I'm just going to skip that. And then we've got Terry here, and we're going to bring him over here. And Evelyn, lastly, she belongs over here. So I think we have everything in place. Oh, there's one more image that's missing. Hold on. Let's go back to our images, and it's this one that's missing, so I'm going to put that in there and move it to where it belongs. Alright, I think we're good. So we finally have all our slides and images in the right sequence that we want. So now it's time to go to the menu up here on top and click on the slideshow module. And down here at the bottom, let's go check our very first slide. So this is going to be our very first one. So let me close this and just point out that there are 3 or 6 main panels in the slideshow module. So we've got the options, and in this case what's important to me is the stroke border. As you can see, there's that white border. You can unclick that to make it blank, but I think I like that. And then you have the option to change the width. That's up to you, but I'll just keep it at 1 pixel. And you can play around with these other options, but in this case I'm not going to use it. The next module is layout. It shows the guides in here, and you can change the position of the guides, but again I'm not going to use that, so you can play around with that later. The overlays. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. The overlay portion actually applies to all the slides in your entire slideshow. So in this case, it will be applied to all 39, such as the identity plate. So if I click that, for instance, you can see here that here's the identity plate, IOPC, and you have the option to change colors. The default color is white, and you have the option to change the opacity, and of course you also have the option to change the scale. Now, one other thing that you can do is you can actually relocate this pretty much anywhere around your slide. You see that it anchors itself to these specific locations, but I'm just going to keep it down here. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't really want it, so I'm just going to uncheck that. So I just wanted to point out that it's available to you if you want it. In addition, there are other things like watermarking, ratings, and text overlays that is available, but I don't typically like to use it, so I'm just going to skip over that. Backdrop. Here's something interesting, and you can change your background color. In this example, it's set as black, but if you want, you could change that to a different color and specify that or this or whatever else that you might fancy. But for this slideshow, I'm just going to choose a plain black background and keep it at that. As an option, you can specify an image in your background if you want to, but we don't want to do that. And also you have this color wash option where it applies a gradient from left to right, but again, I'm not going to be using that, so skip that. Titles. Okay, this one applies to the intro screen as well as the ending screen, the first and the last slides, and by default it takes the identity plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change that, and I'm going to use a graphical identity plate. Since we're IOPC, well, that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the IOPC image. So again, like I said, this is going to be the opening slide of our slideshow. So if I click on this and stay clicked, I'll see that image, and now I have the liberty to change the scale or the size. So let's say I'm just going to keep it at 80% and keep it that way. Now for my ending screen, I don't want an identity plate, so I'm just tick that out. But I want actually, you know what, I think I want something, but I'm not going to use my name, and instead we're going to add a text message. Come and join the fun. Okay, and then I wanted a bigger one. Click OK, and again you now have the option to go ahead and change the scale. And let's see, I'm going to change the color as well. Override color, and this is what I want to do. Okay, I'm trying to approximate that, but we'll just leave it at that. You can play around with that later. Okay, so we're done with the titles. Like I said, we've got the opening slide and then the ending slide. So the next important thing is to specify the sound. So I'm going to select the music in here, and we're going to select this Jimmy Fallon's version of blurred lines. So I'm going to choose that one, and by default it allows you to display or specify the length of time a slide is displayed. This is a universal setting. You cannot change the individual display time of each image. So this is universally applied to everyone or every image. I'm just going to make sure that it fits to the music. So which means that given all the slides, it's going to evenly distribute the total time of the music across all the slides that you have. So in this case it's 39, and then it takes into account the fade or transition in between the slides. That's it for now, and so I'm done with that. Now I have the option to do a preview in here, so which will allow me to play the entire selection. We're not going to do the preview because it actually takes a while to do that. But let's assume that everything's okay. What you then need to do is to click on the export button, where you specify the name of your video. So in this case we're going to call it IOPC Good Stuff version 3, and it is going to be recorded in 1080p mode, and click the export, and there you go. Now over here is a progress bar. It usually takes a while to do this depending on how fast your computer is, but typically in my case I would at least take a snack or coffee break, or maybe even go to lunch. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully I should be able to post the final result of this video, and hope you enjoy. Thanks and have a great day.